Poker video number 78. My name's Ara. This is the Low Limit Poker Challenge. So my thought of the day is complaining. I think that is one of the biggest things that can prevent you from making more money in the future. And not only that, but it's annoying to everyone else. So my boss was actually talking to us about this a while back. I sell cars, if no one knows. And the thing is, last month, for example, 24 people, at least 24 people, came in and talked to me and maybe took a test drive, maybe sat in a car, maybe whatever. And they did not buy a car for whatever reason. Maybe they will in the future, maybe they just didn't want it. Doesn't really matter the reason. But the thing is, they didn't buy a car. I spent time with them. I did not get paid for that time. And I was given a good amount of stuff to complain about. But the thing is, complaining's not productive. So the more productive thing is to be happy, thank them for their time, thank them for choosing you, and move on with your life and get the next sale. And the same exact thing goes for poker. I was involved with a hand last night with actually a buddy of mine that I used to work with selling cars. Very coincidentally, because I very rarely play poker with him. He just happened to be at Twin River Casino last night. And I was involved in a hand, set over set, and I lost the maximum to him. He had less chips than me, but I lost every chip, and I actually told him honestly, if he had more, I probably would have lost a little bit more. I never, for 1 second, considered folding my set, nor would I in the future. It was just anything under $400 on a 2-5 table. In general, I just kind of go with it. On a board that's not, 7, 8, 9, 10 of diamonds or something. But the thing is, I didn't complain, and I've learned to not complain for two main reasons. One, because I want to make more money in the future. I want to focus on the next hand. I don't want to focus on the hand that I just lost. That $400 or whatever that I just lost is gone. It's not mine anymore. It's not a part of my net worth. It's not a part of my winnings or losings for the day. I have what I have at every moment in time. And it's time to move forward. It's time to make money. Every moment is time to make money. And the second thing is, when you complain about stuff like that, like, he just won money for me. He doesn't want to hear me complain. He wants to be happy. So I want him to be happy. And everyone else at the table, they've been in a similar situation as that. They've lost set over set. So they don't want to hear me complain. They've all lost money set over set. So complaining is unproductive, a waste of time, and it brings a negative energy into my mind that might affect the next hand of poker. So I like the way that I handled that situation, and I kind of seek out. So in poker in general, you seek out players that are weaker than you, that are going to make bad decisions, that are going to make mistakes at the table. And one sign that someone is weak-minded and maybe less skillful, maybe a bad player, maybe going to lose a lot of money at the table, is that they complain. And they're not mentally ready for the next hand. So in poker, it's inevitable that something bad is going to happen. It's inevitable that you are going to lose some of the hands. You're going to lose some money sometimes. It's inevitable. It's like when you go into a boxing match. Even if you win, you're going to get punched sometimes. You're going to get hit. Imagine if a boxer got hit and complained about it. They would sound ridiculous. You can't complain about every single time you get hit. Actually, it reminded me of a line in Rocky. It's not how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can get hit and still get back up, or something like that. Correct me in the comments. So, one of the reasons why I make money is not just because I play fundamentally sound poker. It's because of my mentality and my outlook into the game. So I noticed that the 5-10 table had some of the weaker looking players on it, and it was kind of a forced 5-10 table. So when I went to the casino yesterday, I planned on playing 2-5. I think I bought in for $400 if I'm not mistaken. And that was kind of my mindset going into the game. And after I took that big hit, I was already thinking about moving to the 510 table because it was forced. It looked like a group of players that kind of wanted to play 510 but weren't used to playing shorthanded, and maybe that wasn't their exact game format of choice. So I thought that was an opportunity to move up, and instead of dwelling on the money that I just lost, I decided to move up in stakes. And the guys said, "Oh, what are you going to buy in for? You just lost almost all your chips." And I'm like, I guess I'm going to buy in for 1,000. 1,000 is the table max in the table. And when I got there, I guess, one thing that we struggle with as poker players is having an ego. You feel like you're the best player. You feel like you're entitled to win. You feel like you're a better player. You're making all the right decisions. And one of the things I did was I looked at two specific players that I thought were the weaker players in the 510 table, and I said, they're the main reason why I'm coming to the table, and they both have about $500 on the table. So I kind of put enough on the table to cover them, knowing full well that I could add on at any time. So no reason to buy in for 1,000 from the start. I just bought in for 500 because I could cover them. And I thought, I should. This is one of those times where I should be putting my ego aside, even though I can buy in for 1,000. The logical thing is to buy in for 500, and then if one of them doubles up, then I can add on if necessary. But put my ego aside for now, and focus on every single hand and watch how the game goes. So by not focusing on the things that you can complain about and not making yourself miserable every time you lose a hand, or making yourself miserable about every time something bad happens, you can capitalize on future situations and end up making more profit than you otherwise would have if you spent that time complaining. So in the past, or when I was new, I would lose a hand and I would say, oh, well, I just lost, let me wait a couple hours, let me see if I can make make some money, or at least get back to even on 2-5 before I move up to 510. But that has nothing to do with anything. Like, if 510 is the weak game, and even if I didn't plan on playing 510, then that's what I should do. Like, I should go where the best opportunity to make money is. So I ended up playing on that table, and I noticed that the guy in the one seat, who I stereotyped as a pretty good player, I noticed that he was actually on tilt. So I kind of chipped up a little bit, and then from that point on I made sure that I had him covered, because I thought, after further analysis, that he was the one most likely to lose money. And his negative emotions, even though he was the good player on the table, because things weren't going well for him, he was the one that was actually playing bad at the table. So he was the one that I won the lion's share of the money from last night. So I thought that was a pretty good example of why you should not complain, why you should not be a negative person. And to put it into another perspective, like I always like to say, is like, in that one hand, set over set, I lost $300 or $400. And in that exact 1 minute of time, there were a million worse things that happened in the world than me losing $300 or $400. There's so many worse things that have happened to me in life than losing $400. Like, losing $400 shouldn't even register on the scale. Like, in the scheme of your life, losing $400 is nothing. Just move past it, move on, and play good poker and win a lot of money. And same thing with sales. People show up and either they don't intend to buy a car, or the payments are too high, or they don't like their trade value, or the interest rate's too high, or there's so many things that are out of my control that prevent me from making money. But if I focus on those things and I don't move on, and I don't go say hi to the next customer in a very happy mood, then I'm costing myself money and I'm costing myself sales. So in poker and in car sales, the best thing to do is to not complain, move forward, be smart, be happy, be nice. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. If you want more poker tips, please subscribe to the channel. Bye, guys.